baby, 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 oh, like baby, 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 no, like baby, 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 oh, thought you'd always be mine, mine. Oh, the children yearn to vape.
They
Like historically.
they really do. But do they? I feel like I feel like vaping is really such an interesting phenomenon because it's like,
Femininomenon.
God, what a bop. It's I feel like it was like posed as like it's cleaner than cigarettes, which like it still kind of gives that vibe.
Yeah,
It still do kind of give that vibe, except also it kind of gives crustier than cigarettes somehow.
well, it's like,
It's become crusty.
I don't know.
I mean, it is crusty. Like don't smoke cigs or don't vape.
Vaping is for
Probably. I
losers.
mean, like you can do what you want with your life. I don't care, but like for your own health, probably don't do either. You know.
Yeah.
But I
No,
would
I'd
rather
agree.
smoke a cig.
Well, okay. Here's my thing. If you're gonna do the drug and you're gonna consume the bad
Do it
thing,
pure,
do it the way God intended, from the
rolled in
dirt.
paper
You know what I mean? Yeah.
with a
Because something
filter,
about
and
the vape
that's
that
how I
looks like the
approach.
back of a pistol, and it's like huge, and you can hear the
God.
crunching of the coils when
Oh,
somebody hits it. You can hear the
oh, that's dirty.
bleh,
That's dirty. You know what they really did though? You know what they really did? They started making these like cute little like they almost like hydrating. These little pods that like
hydrating.
they look scrumptious. That's why I can't get into it because they look absolutely delicious. What are they called? I'm like
I mean, you've hit a
actively
vape before,
advertising.
right?
Maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
I
almost passed out.
I hit one once in high school because this person I was like, a couple people in my friend group did, and like this person that I was close to really was like, dude, you should just try it this one time. You don't have to like it, whatever. Like, just try and see if you like it. I'm like, okay. So I
What's it
like
look like?
hit it, and I was
Oh,
like, eh.
these they made them look sleek as fuck.
I mean, they kind of look like every other vape, though.
See, for some reason, and there's this like
That's what the Posh looks like, right? Isn't it like the square? I don't know. I don't know the
this
brands.
looks so good to me.
This looks like a portable iPhone charger,
I
and you're
don't
like, and I
know.
want to suck on it.
Maybe it's the gradient. They make it look like it's strawberry, and it probably is fucking strawberry. But okay, yeah. The old vapes, the old coils, that what ones you're talking about, I hit
Well, and
one of those
people
in
still
middle
mod their own
school.
stuff, I'm sure, but like, I don't know.
Girl.
Okay, I
And it really wasn't that big when you were like
what
growing up.
about
Thank
what
God.
about nicotine free vapes? Would you get behind vaping still or no?
I mean,
Because
I don't think that
I
that's really harmful at
well,
all.
the metal probably still goes into you, which is bad.
Um,
So just I don't know. I don't know how
yeah,
I
you
feel about
probably
it.
shouldn't do like either. I remember one of my dad's friends really early on with like the introduction of vaping in the I don't know mid 2000s, mid to late 2000s to early 2010s. That's when like the first few vapes started coming out. From my knowledge, this is
From
from
what
my
we
knowledge. From
remember,
what I know,
hey,
at
nobody's
least
assuming that we're dispelling accurate information. We don't have to
right.
clarify.
Okay, I just want
I
to
don't
make
think we've
sure.
ever been known to dispel
Dispel or
factually,
tell. Yeah,
supported takes
claims.
here. Yeah.
Correct. And that's why we'll be covering the Trump attempted assassination later as
Yeah,
well.
no, for sure.
So with the vape, I remember it was like the whole point of its marketing when it first came out was like, quit smoking, start vaping, like
It's less bad for you, but you're
right,
still addicted to nicotine.
right, and it was
And
like
we're okay with
they were
that.
like these are
So just do this
water.
instead.
This is water vape. It's like a water vaporizer because it's like takes care of the oral fixation. This was the justification. What was crazy is that like it's completely like it's not flipped. It's just the marketing. Wow, crazy. Completely different than where it started from.
Well, yeah, they like started marketing towards kids and stuff, and then like
Because
it got bad because
I don't know. Maybe I feel bad for the original vape person that like invented the vape because they probably did intend it. Again, assumptions. I hope they intended it to like, like to help
Help people
people
quit
quit,
smoking.
but that's not a viable business model. Is to help people quit smoking. They will eventually quit your product as well
Well,
with that hope.
yeah,
You
but
know what I
like
mean?
that.
So like that's not sustainable for a business.
No, it is though, because people are addicted and they'll always be addicted, and there will always be people who want to quit. And also, quitting is hard, so you have a market of people who might come back 2 or 3 times.
Oh, you know what?
So,
Yeah, no, you're
like,
right.
just because some people quit doesn't mean there won't be more
But
addicts that come along and be like, I also want to
but
quit
they don't
smoking.
even have that model anymore.
No,
They've
they
thrown
just
that out. They're
advertise
like,
to
you know what?
11-year-olds.
I don't even. Yeah,
They're
you
like,
want
do you hate algebra?
strawberry shortcake creamsicle?
You want to rip this orange Julius vape pod in the
Which
bathroom?
yeah,
You want to do
it's
it in class and blow it into your backpack? Did you see people do that at your school?
blowing it into the backpack. No, I went to a really like strict high school,
Same, but they found a
and
way.
it was private though and Catholic,
Yeah, yeah, yours is.
and so like when if people did that, it was like pretty much like off school grounds, like it was in the woods because we had woods behind our school. So like woods, like it was a beautiful campus, but like yeah, I don't recall anyone doing that like in the bathrooms or anything
Mm.
like that because I feel like everyone
Yeah,
was
we
a
didn't have
fucking.
a place to go.
Here's
There
the
was no
thing,
woods to go to,
people
so I think they just did
people
it.
at my fucking school tattletales, absolute
That's
tattletales.
crazy.
Like someone had
But also, it's like the Catholic guilt.
a beer at prom, and they got in their entire friend group
Oh,
like
they
in
they randomly
trouble for that.
breathalyzed us on the way into prom. They didn't trust us. You had to when you walked
That's
in
so
and you
crazy.
like showed them your little prom ticket, and they go, "Okay, great." And then you go to the next thing, and you had to like take a poker. There was like a bowl of poker chips, and there were like 2 different colors, and you just had to grab one and put it into this box, and that was how they were taking attendance for numbers. And depending on which color you got, if you got like the smaller amount, they would pull you and breathalyze you before you went in.
Not them being TSA agents.
No,
What
yeah,
the
this was
fuck?
my school. This is the kind of shit they did. Like,
What in?
yeah, because it's a small white affluent town, and they know that like people be doing shit, and
I
they
guess
just hate fun and joy. Also, I mean, I don't think that kids should be drinking underage, but like to like policify the fucking prom entrance, that's
is
crazy.
crazy.
It was what
Especially it being
2017,
like a randomized system is so
2016.
bizarre.
Like that's
That's so random.
yeah. I mean, we had like an officer in our school. We had like a school liaison officer. His name was Jake,
That was pretty.
and he didn't do
I feel
fucking
like
shit,
that became super common everywhere. I had
which
one
I
in
don't
middle
like.
school as well.
No offense,
No,
but I
because
don't
they
like
don't do
it.
anything
No,
except make people uncomfortable.
and they wouldn't apprehend a shooter. You think Officer Jake is gonna put
I
his
think there
body
was.
down on the line? I don't think so.
I think. I think there was a
You think
literal
he's gonna make the shot
example. No,
with his pea shooter?
they're not even trained cops. They're just retired mall cops.
Oh no,
That
ours was a cop.
full on
Yeah, like a
cop,
full ass cop,
and
just
that's your
in the school.
station.
That was like it was
Lame,
like a I don't know, it was weird. I don't know.
lame. I'd rather pull
There was a
people
lot of
over for
weird shit at my
speeding.
school. We had we had this anatomy and physiology teacher, and I took an anat and phys because I thought it'd be fun. And his name was what the fuck was his name?
You don't
Not
have to out
Mister.
him. It doesn't really matter
I
what
wish I
his
could
name
remember. If
is.
anyone went to my school and you are watching this, please comment so that I can remember. But because he was famous. Everybody knew about this guy. He taught anat and phys, and I think he also taught like chemistry or something maybe later.
Okay.
But before every test, he's like okay to picture it. He's like this like spindly like skinny like bald but still hairy man.
Yeah.
Um,
Once you
like
go bald, the
kind
hair
of
starts growing everywhere
kind of
else.
giving like crawled out of like a sewer pipe a little bit.
Okay,
Um,
now we're being mean, but
no, don't
yeah.
worry. And he was like really creepy towards the girls. Like he had this he was just
Oh,
weird.
I see. You
Yeah,
made him out to
and
be
predatory.
iconic
No, he was iconic
at
for being
first,
horrible.
and I'm like,
And then
no,
also before every test and quiz, he would play the song "Psycho Killer." The like by Talking Heads or whatever. They're
nah,
like
nah,
dun
nah.
dun
Yeah,
dun dun dun
psycho
dun.
killer.
Guess get sing.
Yeah.
Yeah, every quiz, every
Nah,
test, while
nah,
he's
nah,
passing
nah.
them out, it's just quiet and we're all sitting there listening to Psycho Killer. So like he like Pavloved us into hearing that song and being scared, which
What
is
the
crazy.
fuck?
He also played the mandolin, so he'd just like pull it out sometimes and be
What?
like, like what the fuck? Yeah, so that was my school. So when I tell you they're fucking weird, I'm being for absolutely for real.
That is such an
We had a track
interesting
teacher sleep with
vibe.
an ex student, and he ended up going to jail because it was like pretty much while she was kind of still a student.
That happens somehow, some way that happens
He
literally
was the
every
girls' track
school.
coach.
We had one, guess what? My school, gender swap. It was the Spanish teacher, the girly Spanish teacher who everyone loved and thought was hot.
Isn't that always a Spanish
She
teacher?
was hot. But it doesn't matter because she fucking slept with a student and
Because
you're
she's
fucked and
icky.
you're a predator.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It
It
doesn't matter how
sucks.
hot you are when you're a predator
No, and
at
that's
Cody Co. Did you see all that?
he's not even hot.
No.
He's not he's okay. He's okay
he's fine.
looking, I guess, but that's irrelevant because yeah, no. But I do remember that being a thing. I fell off watching his shit, not even because of that, because I didn't even like really register that like a few years ago. I stopped watching his shit because I was like, the way you're putting in no effort to any of your
The
videos,
way you're doing really
your
nothing
editors
every
are
episode.
carrying us sitting here also doing fucking nothing. But
Yeah,
here's the
hey,
thing.
we're
Here's the thing.
self-aware.
Exactly. And he's
And
making
we're not going to
millions. We're
sleep with a
making
17-year-old
nothing.
after this.
Yeah,
On our rise to the top.
those as well.
Like,
Those as well.
I don't know.
And he was older than us.
He was 24 and she was 17.
25.
25, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
at that age. No, it's crazy. It. Oh.
Oh, I had a thought. Sorry, not to sidetrack, but I had a thought when you
We're
said
already
the hot
sidetracked.
Spanish teacher. We when I was in Chicago last for Annie's birthday, we watched this movie that Maggie and Annie really wanted to watch called Saint Trinians, and it's like a 2000, I want to say 8 British movie about this like all girls boarding school that's like crazy. We should watch it. You would absolutely love it. It's amazing.
Okay.
But like they really lean into like they show you all of the different teachers and stuff too, and like they're all everyone's weird and insane. It's the 2000s, but like the Spanish teacher is literally wearing like the tightest like long dress, and like she's like the most stunning woman you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And she like doesn't really actually teach them Spanish at all. But there's this part in the movie where they try to like pretend to be a like perfect nice school to like get out of having to like do a bunch of shit and like get audited by the bank and whatever. So they're like trying to like put on a show that they're like doing really well, and they have this whole plan, and they open the door to like the Spanish teacher's room, and she's in like a full nun outfit like teaching them like about the Bible. It's so funny because they're supposed to be like a Catholic boarding school or something, but it's
no, that could
it's
be
awesome.
that would be a really fun watch.
You would love that movie.
See, okay, and this kind of opens us up to one of the topics I wanted to discuss because that was, I guess, what some people might consider a spoiler of the movie. You said they have to like pretend.
That's
to
not
be
even
this
like
thing.
there's
Okay,
that's not
hey.
even the main plot.
And let me tell you something. I agree. I don't think you spoiled it. Let me tell you something. I was talking to someone. I'm not gonna disclose who. Okay, because this shit pissed me off. Actually, not really. It didn't piss me off. I was just kind of like, what the fuck. So Jordan Peele, how he's like created like all these like very fun movies. Like,
Yeah.
Get Out, and like I wouldn't say it's a fun movie. It's like about racism. But,
He's
like,
making movies and he's doing it
and
different.
he's doing it different. They're very like interesting and fun to watch, and he usually like takes your perception of something and kind of flips it on its head. Okay?
Which we love.
So, with a movie that he made about like an alien, I guess it's kind of like a Western alien. What is that one called?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, and I wanted to see it, and I haven't seen it yet. The one with Kiki Palmer? Yeah.
It's called Nope.
Nope. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one.
So that movie, I was talking with a person about it, and they were like, "Oh, I haven't seen that movie," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I saw it like 2 years ago. It was great. Like, it was honestly like very scary in a way that I wasn't expecting it to be." And this is what I said. This is what I said. I said, "Yeah, the movie like depicts aliens in a way that is unexpected." And they said to me, "Stop spoiling the movie."
Literally, what the fuck do you mean?
Spoiled? Well, now I know that the aliens won't be depicted in a way that I'm used to.
Oh no.
What? What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
I don't know. That's
I feel like that's like the least amount of spoilage.
you really said like almost nothing.
That's what I said. I
So
said that back. I was like, I feel like that was a generic description.
that was like a one
Probably even less than what they
sentence
even have on IMDb.
synopsis of the movie.
And it didn't really even cover most of
Really
it.
any of the
Really any of
plot.
it. I didn't mention any characters.
Just a theme. You mentioned one singular theme.
One theme.
As vague as humanly possible.
And you know who else is? My father is like that as well, where I will say literally one thing about a movie, and he's like, "Don't fucking spoil it for me." And I'm like, I mentioned that like this character is played by Hugh Jackman. How would
Huge
that
jacked
be?
man. Sorry, I have to every time. There was a Twitter account I saw once, and their name was Huge Jacked Man,
That's
and
really
they had a
funny.
picture of Hugh Jackman as their thing. And I think about that every time I hear his name.
No, but that actually makes a lot of sense and really aptly named, especially for his
You saw he was at
Wolverine.
Waterbomb.
I did.
What
I
was he?
did see
I think
him
he
at
was. Him and
Waterbomb.
Ryan Reynolds were
We're just
there
there.
for their.
They're
Well,
probably Deadpool.
they were there for their
promotion.
Deadpool promotions and
Yeah.
stuff, and then they were probably also doing the Stray Kids video, maybe.
That's
Well, they probably
well,
can.
yeah.
How fast do they turn around a music video? Pretty fast.
Isn't that crazy though? Because
They crank that
well,
shit
they
out.
probably,
The editors they pay for
here's
that
the
are
thing.
probably locked in like
Here's
chained to a radiator.
Here's my thing. I think what happened was they already had the music video shot,
Probably.
and they were just like, "Oh, we were gonna have a cameo," and then they were just like, "Okay, this is your set. These are your lines. Go, go, go. Boom. That's it."
Or even like
Because it was
improv,
really only 20
like,
seconds. It was really only 20 seconds of like.
Yeah, they could have done
them.
everything except for that first. That does make sense.
Yeah, because they weren't like interacting really at all with Stray Kids.
Also, apparently, the like Marvel company people didn't know that they were in this cameo. There was an interview or something that just came out a couple days ago of Stray Kids, and then they were talking to Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds or whatever about Wolverine and stuff like that. Or it might have been just Felix and Bangchan, the English Aussie boys. And they were all talking, and they said something about like, "Oh yeah, you were in our music video. That's so cool." And then one of them was like, "Yeah, our company didn't even know we did that." And then Felix goes, "Oh, interesting."
Okay.
Which is so funny. I like that they don't give a fuck.
Well, I just feel like, especially like K-pop girlies and boys.
Well, it's also JYP, the stinkiest of the crustiest.
They're not even the stinkiest of the crustiest.
No, I meant JYP himself.
Oh,
Mr. JYP.
I'd say that who's black? YG's stinkier and crustier somehow than JYP, and it's crazy. I feel like JYP just wants to be 20 again.
I wish he would stop doing covers of songs that I'm like, you either need to come out and then perform this song, or you need to pack it up. Like, did you see him do "Sweet Dreams" by the Eurythmics?
Yep.
That was one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my fucking life.
It was painful.
The crowd trying not to laugh at him.
This was their face.
Woo.
The entire time.
Yeah.
I felt bad, but
brutal.
also not really because it's JYP and he's like a fucking multi-millionaire, so it's whatever.
Well, let me just make sure it's still going because I'm paranoid. Yeah, we're good.
Speaking of like weird company managers, have you heard about New Jeans?
Yeah,
manager?
Adore and whatever her name is, Min Heejin.
I've heard about Min Heejin and how she edits her fucking like face into like their promotional things.
There's a
like
lot
that's
going on there.
so weird,
dude. People
what is going on there?
People were making fun of the video that went viral of her in the striped shirt with the hat, crying and like trying to do a YouTuber. Basically, she got her Colleen Behringer, ukulele out and started strumming. Ballinger, how do you say her last name?
I don't care.
She did the Cody Code DJ apology, but it was her version, which was at the press conference, ignoring the like lawyer's advice, getting on the mic, starting to sob on camera, and then like try to talk about how like you really just care about them and like you just want to see the girls successful and nobody cares. So everybody was clowning her and like wearing the fit and then like making fun of her. It was like so funny.
Speaking of clowning fits, I feel like this is just like a news update.
Okay.
Have you seen the TikTok video of that lady being like, I don't get why these modern girls are going to the club
and they're not wearing heels.
Not wearing the club heels, and then panda her wearing like the shortest.
I'll put a screenshot of the
ugly ass
shoes.
little wedges, And now
Everyone's
everyone's
shitting on her.
no,
They're taking a dump on this woman's
the
chest.
videos people are making are the funniest things I've ever seen. Where
Yeah,
it's their mom.
I'm bringing
go
shoes back to the
mom.
club. No, I've seen ones that are like, I'm bringing shoes back to the club, and they're wearing like the tiniest, like flattest, like wedge sandal, and they're like, I hope I don't like break my ankles at the club with my shoes.
That also, them going up and like taking pictures of their mother at like Sunday service and being like, I can't believe she's wearing her club heels. I cannot.
That is so
it's
good.
So funny.
That's so good.
You cannot come out here criticizing. I think people just make the fatal mistake of going out criticizing people on TikTok and being like, just like a whole group of people for like very normal
they also
behavior.
just assume that not only do they assume they're right, they assume that like nothing ever comes back to you. Like this is equal opportunity hating, you know? It's the internet.
You
Girl,
can't
if
hate.
you put something out there, you better be prepared to receive it.
I mean, if she would have just been like, I love wearing heels to the club, and then she like just did her little heels.
Or if she even
sure
said like, when I used to go to the club, I feel like everyone was wearing heels, and now I feel like I'm the only one, but I'm gonna keep wearing my heels. Then people would have said, you go girl, live your life. And instead she said, these kids ain't shit. And the kids said, hey, I'll kill you. We're gonna bury you alive on TikTok.
Like you're gonna hate yourself after this, which is a little crazy.
That's so funny.
Whatever.
Well, I don't know. I feel like the younger generations, I love to see them band together in times like that. Like it really makes me happy. I'm like, we're all hating together.
So funny. Oh
when I was at camp, some of the high school girls, I guess, so eating disorders are super out. They've never been more out, actually. They're being like, they kept running this bit where like, if the food wasn't the kind of stuff they like and they were gonna just eat the salad for lunch, they'd be like, oh, I'm gonna blow away in the breeze later. Like no one's gonna be able to find my waist.
Yeah.
Like just having a salad for lunch, like good luck finding me later. I'm just a speck of dust. Like they were really funny. They were in on it. I was like, wow, we're kind of back.
I'm happy, but I have been seeing a lot of like body checking ED shit just on my timeline, and I'm like, let's end the what I eat in a day.
Yeah.
Let's
also it is an algorithm, girl. You gotta stop watching them.
No, and
they keep feeding them to you.
That's the thing, is I watch them and I'm like, I'm reading the comments, I'm like, why is no one saying how crazy this is? And then I'm like, why do I get one in 10 seconds?
That's like, me on Instagram Reel. I can't go on Instagram like Explore page or Reels or whatever because it's all videos of people being like, my insane weight loss journey. And then I start watching and I'm like, okay, they're gonna like sell me some fake product. Like I'm always like, this shit is annoying. Like maybe just live your life.
Yeah, so this getting back on this and seeing this, I'm like, so it's time for me to delete TikTok for a second to like reset my algorithm. Okay,
you just need to farm something weird, and then you'll get where you need to be.
Which I do, and that's the thing. It's like something really funny. Except for this morning. This morning was dookie ass because I don't know. I really wanted to read this new manga I'm into.
Mm-hmm.
Witch Hat Atelier. Everyone should read it. So good.
What is it called?
Witch Hat Atelier.
Witch Hat Atelier.
So good. So good.
Oh, it's when you were telling me about the other day. Yeah.
People are gay.
Girl, when aren't they?
There's magic, and it's a unique magic system. And someone might say that that's a spoiler, but I wouldn't.
I think it's fine. Some might say that, but I would agree that it's
Most would say no. Most would say it's not a spoiler.
Also, I don't think the show, it's fine. It's really fine. No, okay.
I do spoil shit, though.
Whenever Nick and I watch anime together, I mean, especially lately, I was like 4 episodes behind on My Hero, so yesterday we were just in Discord and I was streaming it. We were watching together. And every time something like would happen, one of us would just go, gay. Like, it's always like one of them, like some guy being like, and my rival isn't here. I can't live to my full potential. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I gotta watch My Hero.
Like, yeah, you do. You really do. But yeah, a lot of shit would happen and we just go, gay. Damn.
They really are, though, especially in that one.
The show's, like, the vibe has changed. It's crazy. We were talking about it because, like, the way that they're animating fight scenes is a little different than, like, stylistically than they were before. And, like, it's just interesting how shows change and grow over time. Like, we're on, season 7 now? So it makes sense, but, like...
Speaking of changing and growing, last season of The Boys... The most recent... And, okay. The plot... I give it to him in the last few episodes where I'm like, okay, this is unexpected. This is a fun place that we're going. The way that they treat sexual assault and sexual violence in The Boys, season 1 versus season 4, astounding. Season
Wait,
1, it's
was
like,
this the thing that had like the warning, or is that a different
oh,
show?
bitch, there's warnings every
Because I heard
episode.
there was one that people were. I didn't. They know, and of course, on TikTok, nobody fucking says the name of
Oh,
the
it's not
thing.
that one. I know what one you're
Okay,
talking about because I also couldn't figure
because
that
people
out
were
this
posting
morning.
like, oh, like they had to put a warning that was like the streaming site made us put this warning out.
Yeah,
Like we have to
that's
legally
not
say
that
this.
one.
We don't think it's that bad, and then
It's
it's
not The
like a
Boys.
gruesome scene or something.
The Boys is gruesome, but it's not. Yeah, no, and it has warnings on every single episode. That's like, I'm like, oh, something crazy is about to happen. And what really sucks is that I just feel like The Boys, and maybe they do this shit on, I think they might be doing this on purpose, but it's like, you can't really tell if they are, because like men versus women getting sexually assaulted within shows, I guess you never really see this men getting sexually assaulted in
Yeah,
shows, but in this show that happens, and it really feels like they're making light of it, and I don't know if that's like a like commentary on how the real world treats men that get sexually assaulted, like it's
you
just a
can't
joke,
read their intention
right? Or
and
if
how it
that's
was
like
portrayed.
literally they don't care and they are just within the system of the world that we live in, and they're like, yeah, no, it doesn't matter, let's move on. I can't tell.
I don't
And
like that.
that's like no, no, no. Especially this last episode where I was like, okay, fine, like that was kind of a weird scene that we saw like 2 episodes ago. This last episode where you like get this reveal, and like he's in a relationship. His girlfriend's reaction made me so upset, where it was like almost his fault, and I was like, oh, I'm so angry for you. And he laughs it off. He's just like, yeah, well, everything's good now. And I'm like, this is like lasting trauma, my man. How are you okay right now?
Maybe it's not good now.
Exactly. So
Is
I'm
it?
hoping they like say something about that, or like, I don't know. But like,
Address it in some way.
yeah, it was just like super uncomfortable. And especially like, I really wanted, I was really scared after watching the first episode of The Boys, because the first episode you see like essay and you're like, oh my god, is this going to be like this the entire series? And kind of it is in terms of like violence, but not in terms of like that. And you kind of get this like retribution for it. And so you're like, okay, feeling better about this, I guess. But it's still like just crazy to open up with that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I haven't watched Berserk yet, but I know Berserk starts with like basically that kind
It's
of
just
scene.
so God. It's like
And
so
Berserk is an incredibly violent and gory show, from what I understand. So it's like
like
par for the
they're probably
course.
very similar.
But they
Yeah.
very much just like, you know how Attack on Titan gives you like one episode of like everything is fine, and then it's like just kidding, everyone's dying. It's dark and gory and horrible.
I don't think Attack on Titan anything is fine ever. It's just like
No, but the first
progress
episode
is
there
being
isn't like
made.
immediate violence. Like they don't go straight in. They give you like 15 minutes of like,
Yeah.
hey, we live here. Apparently, Berserk opening scene is like, just like literally you're already deep in the trenches. And it's like, oh, which
I hear that
I
too,
like
like the
storylines that
manga.
start in the middle of something. I like when
Hmm.
they don't give you the like neat exposition, like let's set up
Here in the
the plot.
kingdom of blah blah blah.
Yeah, I
Right.
like when they just throw you the fuck in and they're like, you're gonna figure
I
it out.
appreciate both. To
Because
be
I think it can be
honest,
done really well.
it can be.
Yeah.
It. You know who does that well? There's this anime that I watched, and it's called "Why Ray Liotta Ended Up at the Duke's Mansion." Seriously, it's
I'm
really
not
good.
laughing at you. I just love
It's crazy that I fucking remember.
we are such different anime watchers, but we do watch the same thing sometimes. But it's so
Yeah.
funny. When you were like, yeah, you just really like only to watch gory stuff. And I was like, no, I don't. And you were like, listen. And you're watching how Ray Liotta accidentally ended up at the Duke's mansion.
It's great. Well, and that's one of those shows that starts in the middle of something and you're like, oh, someone just got pushed off of a fucking building.
I
Like,
guess,
where
yeah.
is this going?
But like in Chainsaw Man, you're just like watching people get cut in half, and you're like,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that doesn't happen in Why Ray Liotta ended up at the Duke's mansion. Not at all. None of that happened.
Dude, there's a scene in Chainsaw. You should watch the show.
I don't know if I can. His character design grosses me the fuck out.
Okay,
And that's why I couldn't watch Parasite. I couldn't watch Parasite for the same reason.
What do you mean by grosses me the fuck out?
Parasite? Have you ever seen Parasite, the anime Parasite?
I didn't get very far.
It's like the openings of like skin.
He doesn't. There is not that many. He just has the cord. That's it.
That's gross.
And they don't make it look gross. It's just literally just like a string.
His head is a chainsaw.
Yeah, but it's like fine.
That's
They don't make it. I don't know.
gross. See, but you don't think it's gross, but I do. In fact,
They
think
don't
it is
like. I
nasty,
don't.
icky,
Yeah,
gross. Ew.
I'm lost as to how.
As to how a
Yeah.
person with a head of a chainsaw could be
Well, they don't
considered
like make him
gross.
all gross and like lumpy and covered in. Like I don't know.
Let me pull up a
Anyways,
picture of Chainsaw Man
I
really
don't think he
quick.
looks as gross as you think he looks, but I could be crazy. But there's a scene that is so gross in that show, and it's not like they animate it super insanely, like high res or like really nasty on purpose, but like somebody throws up in somebody's
No,
mouth,
like this is
and it's a lot.
gross. Like this is like nasty. Are you serious? Like him? Like what? He's all blades.
Yeah, that's like so cool.
Right. No,
It's
it,
like
it
it's
is
horror.
cool. You're right. That's right. It's gross. It's just like a
I
little
just think
nasty.
I don't think gross is like I think it's a little spooky. I think it's unsettling, but I don't think it's gross.
But I have like a thing with certain textures and like looking at things and like folds and it it just
Oh my god, you know what we were
makes me
gonna
want to tear
do?
my
We were gonna
skin
take the
off.
autism quiz. That's what we were gonna do. I only thought of that because you were just
Yeah.
talking about textures again.
I feel like we're too far in to do the autism quiz right
Uh,
now.
yeah,
Is
I
it a
don't
10
know.
minute thing?
I don't know how long it is. Well, no, it's more than 10 minutes. But
Okay,
also,
then we're not
how
doing
many
it right now.
how many fucking topics do we even have?
A lot, actually. We've gotten
Evidently
through
so. All
two.
right, what's next?
Camp update. That's you. You went to Christian camp.
I went to Jesus camp again. Do I believe in him? Jury is out.
Do you have to like lead prayer?
I think I prayed 3 times because I had to once. Because all the counselors have to give like a little like 5 minute little like mini message thing about some theme relating to like the program for the week. So so the theme was like Charlie Brown and the gang was the Peanuts.
Okay, so
So
you had
like
to give a sermon on Charlie Brown.
no, not
That's
a
the
sermon,
funniest
not a
thing I've
sermon.
ever heard.
5 minutes of talking about my life
Okay,
and or experiences and relating it to a character from the Peanuts. So the time
who
slot that
did
I
you
ended up stuck with
choose?
was Pigpen because none of the Bible verses were really saying anything to me. They were all whatever the fuck.
Not Pigpen.
And I think I don't even remember the verse for mine. It was like basically like don't compare yourself to others or something. That was kind of the gist. And like Pigpen's whole like characteristic thing was that he like doesn't care what other people think. So the message I gave to the youth was, um,
Being an
I
ass.
tried a new. I don't shower and you shouldn't either. No, the middle schoolers were already on that shit, so they did not need me to tell them to do that. No, that's real. We have had problems with having to tell the middle schoolers to shower. We're like, guys, what if we had a schedule? And then you would know when you should be,
When you should
when it's your
shower.
turn, because otherwise
Guys,
they
what if we had
won't.
this shower party?
Wouldn't that be so
Come on,
cool? Oh my
guys.
god, yeah.
Not in a weird way.
But yeah, so
Individual.
my little thing was about like trying new things and trying new hobbies and like how I tried rock climbing and I wasn't really good at it at first. And it's hard to not be good at things, but you should still do them if you like them because who cares what other people think and you should do what makes you happy. So that was my message and I was like whatever. So I had to pray there. And then I think I prayed like 2 other times just because none of the other kids in the group we were like, okay, it's time to pray. Who's gonna do it? And everyone would just go like scared. And so then I'd be like, okay, I'll just do it so we can fucking go eat our pretzels or whatever is happening next. But I don't know. It was good. I'm trying to think. There was a lot of poop jokes. I don't know why. I go to camp and the poop jokes like I just lock in because it's like safe because it's not a swear word and it's usually funny.
Oh,
And
you can't swear?
no, girl, it's Christian camp with 3rd through 12th grade children. Of
That
course, you
is
can't swear. I mean,
third
we
through
are this
12th
year we were
grade is
super lax.
crazy.
Like a lot of the kids swore, the high school kids, and we just didn't say anything. Like Mike would all the time be like, "Oh shit," I mean, heck, and I'd go, "I don't really care, man." Like it's whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's good. I'm trying to think. There's this one kid. I've never seen a clumsier child in my entire fucking life. I mean, he's awesome. He's like, what is he like 6th grade maybe?
Okay, like
Plays
12.
guitar like shreds, insanely good. He has like the long flowy hair too. And
Is
he's
he a
like this
crazy
fucking
camp
tall. He's tiny as
counselor?
hell. So he has to be in a little band and everything. But I'm not
That's
kidding.
cute.
I've watched this boy bowl over about 12 times that week. He just kept falling over shit and off of shit and like I watched him run out the doors of one of the buildings and roll down the stairs onto the concrete. And I come out, and everyone goes, "Oh shit!" So I go out there, and I'm like, "Hey, Graham, you good, buddy?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm good." And I'm like, "Cool, maybe just like, I don't know, be careful on the stairs." And he goes, "Okay," and then he walks away. That happened like 4 more times that week. And then he like hurt his hand at the deck party. So we're all like dancing and jumping and whatever. And I guess he jumped. And one of the other counselors was telling me, one of his counselors was telling me about it. And he's like, yeah, he said he jumped up as high as he could. And then he forgot to put his feet back down. Like, bro just
Who
forgot he had
is this
legs. So he
kid?
just landed on his ass and tried to like catch himself and he hurt his wrist.
Bro, kids are fucking
No, they're
crazy.
crazy.
Like they just forget about themselves halfway through doing
Until
something.
middle school where they cannot forget about themselves. Like
Ugh.
he was at that sweet spot where he isn't like cripplingly like self-conscious yet, which is because it's a beautiful time, and then it gets dark, and then it gets okay again in high school, like later in high school. But like, goddamn.
If even then.
So yeah,
Sorry.
that happens so much. I don't know.
That's fun. Also, that's like a crazy age group. 3rd through 12th.
Yeah,
Crazy.
normally the little dinky kids are kind of off on their own group for most of the time. We just like eat meals together and stuff.
Gotcha.
I had to like, we all have to do pool duty once, so like you just sit at the pool. There are lifeguards, but you're also like the other adults there.
Okay.
And we sign up for times that way someone's always there. And so during our time, it was like all the little dinky kids come, and I don't really understand. They had this game that I could not figure out the mechanics of, where they would like line up on the edge in the pool and then like take turns having somebody jump in for something. There were rules, but I didn't know the rules.
I feel like, can I be honest with you? I do remember. I've also taught kids. They just make up shit.
Oh yeah, and that's why I couldn't figure out the rules, because I'm sure they didn't make any fucking sense.
No, the rules, they don't. There's not actual any game mechanics.
No, it's just whatever the kids. Well, and then we do this, and then you jump. Oh, okay. Like, sure,
and
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And then you spin around.
Yeah.
You touch the bottom of the pool.
You shoot your pants, and then you jump in the pool. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you poop 3 times.
Well, and one of the kids had an older brother who was a senior, and he's a big guy, and he has like multiple siblings that have been at camp and go to camp every year and like whatever. He's a really nice kid. And when he got to the pool, his little sister was like, Mike, will you jump in for us? Will you cannonball? We want a wave pool. And so they kept asking him to jump in, and he would be like, okay, well, if I do one more, will you guys leave me alone so I can play basketball? Like, it was so funny.
That's really cute.
His older sister told us a story about how they went to this hotel once, like on family vacation, and there were a bunch of little kids in the pool. And then like Mike got there, and he like went to go to the edge, and all the kids started screaming and swimming away, and she's like dying laughing. It was so funny.
That's mortifying almost.
They were like afraid of him, but not.
I think if someone
he is such like a teddy bear.
That's really nice, but if I stood at the edge of a pool and there were children in the pool
and they swam away crying and screaming, I would laugh.
They either did that or they said, jump in the pool, we want a gigantic cannonball, we know you can do it.
I also would have laughed and been like, bet.
Well, it's better than what my last pool experience with a child was a child came up to me and said, are you 30? What?
No, one of the campers guessed that I was 28.
No context.
And I went, were we wrong? And I said, yeah, a little.
They don't understand.
And it's not their fault. They don't know how old people are. They have no way to guess. That's really okay.
No, yeah, 5-year-olds think that I'm 40 or 10, and they just don't really have like a concept of anything in between. They're just like, you're either mom, you're mommy,
your mom or you're me, and that's it.
And maybe like the maximum. You're the 6th grader. You're either a 6th grader, because that's who I see.
The oldest person in their life, other than their mom.
Yeah. Right. No, because I'm not grandma. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I love that about kids. Just zero concept of age. It was just so random. I was just like in a pool minding my business, and this child swims up to me, and I could tell he wanted to say something to me for a while, and I was like,
and that's the worst, because you're like, oh no, it could be really good.
And he was like 12, and he was like, are you? I'm like, why aren't? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, like, I didn't know, and I'm like, okay. But why did you need to know? What possessed you to need to know my age? Very interesting. Kids are they're an enigma. I'll never understand. They really are. Them.
No one will, except for the other kids.
I had a moonlight paddle yesterday. Did I tell you about that? Right. Did you like that transition? How I just shouted out water?
A moonlight paddle?
Yeah, moonlight
Girl,
paddle.
weren't you fucking exhausted?
Oh yeah, I'm so tired.
Let's rewind the events of this weekend specifically,
So
and we'll get there.
yeah,
Because
Friday.
Friday we went to the fair.
Also, my car
Your
died
car
on.
exploded.
So I've had to ride the bus the last couple days into work, so it means I've had to like wake up earlier. So let's just take that. Let's just make sure that that's established, and then multiple like just exhausting events. I've made dinner every night. And so let's just keep that in mind. And then we go to the fair.
Yeah, okay. So we were so excited to go to the fair. I mean, I was personally so excited to go to the
I
fair
was too.
because we both grew up in like rural Midwest towns that had a
That's kind of
banger
a lie,
ass
but yeah.
county fair.
Banger County, literally, honestly, it's Benton County Fair. Wow, banging.
Ozaki County Fair slays, right?
Mhm.
Incredible. And so we're like the Dane County Fair. It's gonna be
Because it's a bigger
awesome.
town, so
More
it must
money, more
be
budget, more food, more beers. Everything's gonna be better.
everything bigger, everything better. There's going to be bingo at 30 different stalls at all times. There's going to be crazy shit going on.
Yeah, and honestly, the part that we kept bringing up to each other almost the entire day was that there was almost no grass. We were like, and it's parking lot. Like,
And why
I was
is
really
it on
upset about that.
blacktop?
Yeah, and the venue sucked. The vibes were terrible. They had like very few rides.
The organization
Everything
of
was
like
shit.
how things were laid out was bizarre.
Watching the horse show was like the most intense part of the whole day, perhaps.
Perhaps.
And then
so. I would actually, yes.
yeah, I didn't.
I
and
agree.
then I feel old as hell because those rides like really hurt. Like that hurt me. My body actually, I was
bruises.
dying.
I have bruises. I have
Well,
bruises
the bruises
right
are your
here,
fault.
right here on my rib cage.
That one's all you.
Because I'm a dumbass. I forgot how physics worked.
We went on the blizzard, which only goes in a circle, and whoever's on the outside gets like squinched against the thing. And so I go to get on, like I go to let her on first, and she goes, "No, no," and I'm like, "All right." So I go on the inside, which means that my ass will be squanching you.
I thought it was going to be the opposite for whatever reason. Again, you have to realize operating on very little sleep, not much.
I tried to direct
logic.
you.
I had one brain cell going on, and here, go ahead. The way that I wanted to vomit, cry, have a
that ride wasn't even the worst one,
and the way that it was the loudest by far.
Yeah, the music was okay. Yeah.
It was dookie.
There were not enough people there. It was Friday at 2 p.m. It was us and 3 Hispanic families with 2 children each, and that was like it at the whole fair. And so we go on this fucking ride, and there's not enough people.
In the 4-H.
Yeah, and everyone in the 4-H actually showing their horses.
And
on the opposite side of the fair.
But none of them actually participated in the fair. They only stayed at the 4-H tent, which honestly, don't blame them.
Not much else to see. But no, why? So like, why did they have the music so loud? Because like there weren't that many people talking that you couldn't hear the music. It was like it was like painfully loud. And they weren't. They were playing like Imagine Dragons. I was like, can we get something?
And not even one of their bangers.
No. So yeah, that ride was not even the worst because the
I'd say for me it was
the alien abduction.
That one was fun for me.
No, that one hurt my. I actually thought my chest was gonna crack open. I don't know why, but like
my face felt like it
hurt. I kind of felt like I was gonna not pass out, but like I felt the lifeblood getting sucked out of me.
Well, you're just like squinched. That's like the whole.
I was getting so squinched.
Your body just kind of go meow.
And I used to ride that ride and like enjoy it, and then try to like stand up and like do everything. Nope.
No, that little girl though, she was
kind of annoying.
Yeah, but that's just how they are at that age.
Yeah, I just feel bad because like these other people don't want to parent them because it's not their job.
Yeah.
But it's also not my job, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, they're like, hey, please don't do that. And she's like, anyway, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, she's doing like a handstand and the thing that spins you a lot. And he's like, yeah, so I don't really want you to like break your head open on the floor. She's like, okay. And then she ignored him completely. But whatever.
Yeah, so the fair was interesting.
I pet a pig. That was fun.
You did. We pet lots of them.
We saw lots of sheep. They were cool. And lots of birds.
They were. I feel like what I've realized is that this is what we discussed is like the Dane County Fair I think is dookie ass because Madison itself has so many like things to do just on like a random Tuesday. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just going to be able to find other festivals going on all the time that are like music festivals, like at our local parks. that already do food trucks and stuff like that. There's bars, there's like dancing
I just think they
areas.
don't care about the fair
Well,
because it's a
but
metropolitan
that's what I'm
area.
saying. It's like
Yeah.
because we have all of these other amenities, the fair is just like, yeah,
Well, I also
it's
think
just
it's not
another
even
thing.
because of the other amenities. I think they just don't give a shit about the fair because like 4-H isn't the city of Madison's like thing.
No,
If
it
they if
needs to
they
be. I'm sorry.
because
The
what we
fair
did
needs to be
say,
in Stoughton. The fair
yeah,
needs to be somewhere
Stoughton
else.
or Oregon or like literally anywhere that's like touching Dane County but is mostly rural
And so that they
farmland.
can own that shit.
You
And
know
they
they
can,
have
right.
you know they have people that don't want to drive into the city. You know how many kids would probably go to that then actually?
No, and that's the thing. It's like the energy was just not there, and that's part of the
This is another
problem.
instance of you and I being like, yeah, but we could do a way better job if we just like organize this entire event. And I mean, truly though, because it was
It needs to be in a
probably the
rural
worst fair
place
I've ever been
because
to my entire
here's
life.
the thing. I used to go to this one thing, and I wouldn't even call it a fair. It was like a bazaar at best, and it was literally at one singular church. That's where it was at, just a church, and they did a pork chop dinner with all you can eat
Okay, pork
cobs of
chop,
corn, all you can eat cobs of corn, and fresh made pies
dude.
with milk on tap, milk, lemonade, and water on tap. Okay, and that was in the big like churchy basement. Well, it wasn't in the basement. It was just in the church hall where they like
They're
do
like big room.
fundraisers. Yes, the big room of all.
They all got
churches.
they all got a
The
big room
That's
for
not the
drinking coffee and having
yes
soup day and whatever the fuck.
exactly. So that's where that would be, and then they had like a tractor pull competition. They had a cakewalk, which Wisconsinites don't know what the fuck
I was about to say, can you explain to me what a cakewalk is?
Bro, and this is why Wisconsin doesn't have the sense of community that Minnesota does. A cakewalk is crazy that you've never heard of this. A cakewalk is an event where a bunch of members of a community church or different fundraiser, it's usually for fundraising purposes,
Mm-hmm.
they get together, they all bring in a baked good of like their specialty.
So it's not cake.
It mostly is cake.
Okay.
It's like I'd say 90% cake, and then some people bring in pies, brownies, pastries, etc.
Okay.
Okay. They put it on this big table. There's a tent, okay, and there's a table in the middle of the tent. It's all shaded, so the pies and pastries and delicious stuff don't just melt in the sun because it's always on a fucking 90-degree day. And then there's a big wheel, and someone's operating this wheel, and it has numbers on the wheel. It has like numbers 1 through 200 or 1 through 100. And each person that wants to participate in the cakewalk, there's really no reason why it's called a walk because no one's walking. You get.
See, I'm just saying, I said that that's not cake, and you seemed upset. But there
There's
are
no
some structural
walk
errors
either.
to the fucking
But it's fine. That's just what it's
nomenclature
called.
here.
It's just what it's called. But it's a great fucking way to fundraise and have a great time and build community. So, you can purchase a paddle for 50 cents or $1.
Okay.
And literally all they do is just spin the wheel, and your paddle has like 4 numbers on it. And if your number gets called, you can pick whatever cake you want, and then that's your cake for the day.
And you just take it home.
And you just take it home.
Okay.
And you can keep it in the fridge, in the
yeah.
in the church.
So I don't know why the fuck they named that a cakewalk. I
don't know either.
It would be like an art walk.
No, not
where
at
there's
all.
like a street with art and you
No.
walk the street because that makes sense. Art,
No.
See art, walk.
Mm.
Cake, not walking.
There's no walking, and it's not even mostly cake.
Yeah, that's
no. Actually, it is mostly
up.
cake. It's not fucked up. It's great and it's fun. Can you imagine how fun that was? It's like playing bingo, but you get fucking cake.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
I mean, yeah,
and you're basically gambling, and
church sanctioned gambling.
It's
that's the most Midwest thing I've maybe
literally
ever seen.
So fun. So that's like the best like bizarre game. I love that shit. There's always a tractor pull for the little kids, a pedal pull, and I always won.
Wait, little kids? Wait, what?
That's what a pedal pull is. You put weight on the back of a miniature tractor that you can pedal like a bike, and then you try to see how far you can go with stacked weight on the back. So they put plates, like So like yeah,
I've never been to the tractor
pounds.
pull, so I didn't know about the kid tractor pull either.
Yeah.
That was not the side of the fair I was at. You were at the farm side and I was on the zipper getting puked on.
But I was at both though. That's the thing. Is like the fair is only fun if you participate in the rural aspects of it because like that's who it's for. Like the fair is for the rural folks, and I will stand on that,
I
and I
think
will
yeah, I
keep
think a lot of people
standing
don't
on
know that. I
that
think child
because
me
like
didn't really know that. I would
I don't
walk
think
and see
me.
the animals, but
I
like
love the animals.
they were it's because they were on the way in for me.
I stopped to go pet the animals when I was a kid because I would always have like little puppies, little kitties,
We did not have dogs and
chicken, little.
cats.
See again, Benton County Fair. Let's go. Benton
But
County Fair. But here's the thing: I did get lice 3 times in a row from that fair. So
okay, well, yeah, well, see, my parents' house is literally a 10-minute walk, not even from the fairgrounds.
oh, that's so nice.
It's the
That's so
fairgrounds,
fun.
the end of a neighborhood, and our neighborhood.
That's so
So
fun.
I could, like, and people would park in our neighborhood to walk to the fair.
Yeah.
So it was nice because I could just walk there. But I'd go in like the side entrance, and then like the first thing would be the big like expo barn area with like all the
Mm,
small animals, the
I
birds and
love that
the chickens and
shit.
the bunnies and all that. So I'd always start there.
I love that. I love that. Love, love, love. And also, what was disappointing about this fair? Their 4-H tent, not even like a tent. It was literally just like they gave you baked potato or ice
Well,
cream,
there was
and they
also
did
only
good.
one. There
Like
was only one. There was only the Stoughton 4-H people selling food
yes,
there, and then the rest of the food carts were like a couple fair type ones, and then there was like a handful of Madison based like food truck stuff, which is
right. Which is
fine,
no, it's totally good.
but like you could already get that the rest of the fucking year. The fair is
Yeah.
supposed to be a literally once a year type of thing.
Right.
Where's
Bring
the
something
intrigue?
unique. Bring something unique.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Is like I totally get the fair food. I mean, my county fair at home didn't have anything like crazy for food. It was very normal. But it was like the reason you would go to the 4-H is you'd get that breakfast I was telling you about. They had
Mm.
the most delicious homemade breakfast. You could see them making it in the back, and it was so cheap in comparison with all the other fair food. And you'd fill up on that in the morning. You go do your pedal pull. Oh, it was just the best. It
Well,
was so
and because
fun.
this fair was so bad, we are going to the Minnesota State Fair
Oh yeah,
in like
absolutely.
2 weeks. We will. Should we vlog it?
We could definitely
Should
vlog
we vlog
it.
it and put it in the
Bro, and the
podcast?
Minnesota State Fair is really fun. It is very overwhelming though. So we're gonna
Listen,
need to bring a fan, a personal fan for ourselves, a mister. I'm telling you right now, like I don't know if you have been in crowds like this. You've been to Lala. But the
I
crowds
used to go to
at
Summerfest in
Minnesota,
high school,
that's what I'm saying. So
so it's
you guys are
fine.
familiar with the crowds. But like the crowds at Minnesota State Fair and
Well, it's
specifically the
probably
Minnesota State
also
Fair,
like Wisconsin State Fair. It's fucking packed,
it's like
and it's hot and sweaty, and there's no
ants.
shade.
No
Yeah,
shade.
I know.
But what's nice about the Minnesota State Fair, they have this like really nice indoor area that's like
Yep,
fun to look at and like
the
there's like
expo area
yeah,
with
there's really
the people selling
beautiful
bath remodels, but then also interesting stalls.
yes, there's
Yep,
beautiful like artworks that
yep,
people have like submitted and stuff like that with
yeah.
like
It's
really fun food vendors inside there as well that are
yeah.
usually like cold drinks and stuff like that. It's
I'm
very
just
fun.
ready to roast like a hot dog in the sun. Like
I
that's fine.
I'm ready to go to the
I'm
rodeo.
submitting myself to whatever because do we need to go more than one day, or is one day going to be enough?
One day's fine.
Okay.
One day is fine. I don't want to do more than one day.
Because I just
We could even do a day where they have a concert at the end of the day if you
wow,
want.
that'd be crazy. We could though.
Because they also have that like thing from one side of the fair to the other and it's like
A little
a
trolley
gondola.
oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that too.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah. They love that at the state fairs. Because the state fairs they got budget. They really do.
Well, it's also yeah, because instead of like a county 4-H being like,
But I
this is
love
our
a
fundraiser for the
4-H.
no, I know, I love that, but
God.
the state fair, it's like the state tourism like
Yeah.
company is like, okay, gotta draw as many fucking people.
Shit.
Yeah, I never worked it. When I worked at the Amish furniture store in high school, I always wanted to work the state fair just once. I only
To
worked there for
table.
one summer, but they were like, actually, no, we need some people to stay at the store. So please, will you actually work at the store? And so I worked a ton during state fair because a bunch of the staff were gone working the state fair table, booth, whatever the fuck. So it was like me and this German man named Sven, or no, he's probably Swedish. And we would just work together. He was this like 40-year-old bald Swedish guy.
Was he Amish?
No, none of us were
Oh.
Amish. Just the people who made the furniture were Amish.
That's so crazy.
They had a plug for that pretty much.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
But no, Sven was cool, and we had these like you could pick the music for the store, and there was like a huge like box full of CDs, and you would just pick one to play on like the little stereo for the whole store.
Yeah.
And whenever he would work, he really liked, there was like 5 different nature CDs. So like I found that there's this album, I forget what it's called. There's a song called Mountain, and it's by Kitchen Dwellers. Found this from working at the Amish
Okay,
furniture store.
Sven.
Kitchen Dwellers goes hard. Y'all should listen. But anyways, Sven would put on, so that's what I'd pick. Like a little banjo, like that was my
Yeah.
vibe. And then
I love
Sven would
bluegrass.
choose the nature one. So there was like a loon CD, and it was just like loon sounds and like bird ambient noises. I'm not kidding.
Loon sounds are
And then
terrifying.
occasional like flute music, but like mostly just nature sounds. It was awesome. I fucked with that heavy. So yeah, every time I work with Sven, I was like, we're on some weird shit today.
That is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like, I don't know, just fair culture in general. I don't recommend the Dane County Fair. Sorry, guys.
It blew ass. Don't go.
But I mean, we still had a good time. But like,
well, yeah,
that's because. But if I went there by myself, I'd be like so sad.
I'd be pissed.
I would have been so sad, and it's just like I feel like fairs are so formative for like kids as well, doing fuck ass shit. Let's make it fun for them at least.
Dude, we watched 3 high school girls film a TikTok at the bumper cars. Yeah. Like they set their phone up on the edge of the bumper cars like barricade thing, and then they did their little like.
I didn't realize people were still doing that dance.
I didn't know. I didn't even. You recognize the dance?
It's like the same dance they always do.
That's crazy. No, they just all look the same, I fear. Yeah. Yeah.
Essentially that. Yeah. Maybe a few arm crosses were at different timings. I don't know. Yeah. And that's how you know I'm not down with it.
Have you seen the TikTok trend with the song, the people are doing either outfit checks or they're throwing ass?
So I actually watched a video about that today, and I didn't realize the origins of it.
I was about to say, did you also learn the origins of Blue music?
Yes, that was so cool.
I love a little music history, just sprinkled in with my pop culture.
Because people were like, oh, this is like Barat music, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is. And then finally I got a video that was like, this is what they mean by that. This is what
this one guy invented this genre by like
But it wasn't just him. It was like people in this. He was like a very popular curator of it and like creator of it, but there was also, it seemed like it was like a whole wave.
Yeah, he started the trend, and then it became a thing.
Yeah, of just like
remixing,
kind of dookie,
like weird sound clips from the 80s and 90s, and then completely changing them and making your own beat, and then slowing the tempo way down,
and then
for people to essentially throw ass.
The dance is specifically supposed to be,
and then the Philippines were like, slow. And we are going to
super slow dance is what it's supposed to be. So that's why people were kind of annoyed, and they're like, why are you taking this like trend that was a trend 10 years ago and like acting like it's a fit check when it's like supposed to be this like very specific dance? I don't know. So
it's also just funny though, because like scrolling and you get like this white girl doing her like outfit check, and she is literally 1-2 stepping to the like emergency paging doctor, and it's like, okay, girl, giving absolutely nothing, and then you scroll one more, and it's like a Filipino nurse in the full white outfit, like on the floor, like grinding her ass. Yeah, and you're like, this is what God actually wanted.
This is what we intended.
This is what this music was made for. So let's like show some respect.
Yeah, I honestly want to do more research into it because I really do like the music. I feel like it really is with this new American wave, I guess, of like the back to recession.
The 90s, I was literally going to say, the 90s is so back right now. It's crazy, especially K-pop, the current
I'd say early 2000s. I wouldn't say 90s. 90s was very like
we're going 90s now. 90s like hip hop.
90s hip hop. Yeah. Okay, I would say 90s.
I'm not grunge. No, K-pop is currently. We were 2000s with New Jeans. We have
90s. We have New Jeans is back to 90s though.
We are gone. Everyone is 90s now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everyone. It's crazy. That's the trend right now.
Mm-hmm. But specifically
90s and Afrobeats.
But in America, okay, they've been ripping off Afrobeats since 2014, probably.
They're big now though. They weren't as like everyone's doing it now, which is crazy.
Yeah, no, but they were, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's funny because K-pop like mirrors the wave of like everywhere else too, because they're like, what is the trend? We are on it. We're always on the trend. They have an IV of whatever is trendy being injected into their music at all times.
And that's why I kind of really respect Stray Kids because
they fuck that shit.
They're just doing their noise music in peace.
And I love that.
That's all they do.
But like I
That's what
mean,
they
the new
do.
NCT album, almost entirely hip hop R&B, giving very
To be
90s
fair
with
though,
their
they've
flair on
they've
it,
been doing hip
which
hop
they've
R and
been
B for
doing.
a
But
while.
like
Like
they're
it's
doing
not something
90s.
new for
The Boys
them.
just released a song that's very 90s.
Yeah,
Like everything coming out right now, 90s is the current wave.
but there's also this like recession pop that
And
was
then the
very
US,
popular in
we're in the
2008,
2000s.
2009, 2010, where it's just like very fun, fresh. Like we're at the club, like
Joyride,
oh
so
my god,
good.
Joyride's so good. All of Charlie's new album, Brat, all of it is
Um,
hyperpop and fun and fresh.
I
Well,
would
not
I
all
wouldn't
of it. There
there
are
that
actually a
album is
few
not
songs.
as recession pop. I think that's just Charlie being Charlie. But like Kesha's bringing back recession pop. Who what the fuck are their names? Not Enrique Iglesias. Like Lupe Fiasco and somebody Pitbull and someone are making
Pitbull's always been making
Pitbull and
that.
another guy from the 2000s like US pop scene,
They're
like
actually
club
coming
scene.
back.
They're making a song right now. I'm not kidding. I just saw a
Oh,
thing
they're
and I was
like, you
like,
know
"Oh,
what?
we
We
are
know the
actually so
formula,
back."
bitch.
So that's cool.
I don't know what the fuck. What does Chaperone count as? Because she's not like
She's
recession pop. She's like her own.
she's just pop. This is a return to form. This is pop has very much in the last few years, I think, gotten away from like a real chorus with a melody. And like most of pop is now like build up, okay, little beat drop, okay, great, back to the next verse. Like that's where we had gone, and Chaperone said, I'm going to
Let's bring
sing
it
a
back to the
fucking song.
fundamentals, and I'm
It
gonna have
is
a
gonna be catchy as hell. I'm going to
God
belt a little bit. It's gonna have a clear, strong,
Pink
memorable
Pony Club, bitch.
a melody, a fucking
Pink
melody.
Pony Club? Are you serious?
So we're back. We're
I
so
have
back.
not met a person, straight, gay, cis, trans, black, white, Asian, anyone who doesn't fuck with Pink Pony Club.
Have you seen the
Pink
video of the old
Pony
guy?
Club.
There's like this like
Bro,
75-year-old man at the concert, and he's singing every
literally
goddamn
my
word.
boyfriend, literally Bailey. He said he listened to that for an hour straight, lifting.
An
He
hour
said
straight is actually so funny.
he's like, some about this beat, man, and I'm like, yeah, no, it hits, and he's like, I just kept Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the.
Yeah,
And tell me why I cried watching the music video.
it's
The music
beautiful.
video is honestly like emotional.
And again, Midwest, rise up,
I love the
rise and fall of
Midwest
the Midwest princess.
Rise.
I just feel like
Honestly,
Midwest the vibes are so. I was gonna say versatile, but also just
also
like
not.
I don't know. I
Yes,
feel
but
like a
no.
lot of Midwest stars. I'm like I vibe with you.
I don't really know that many Midwest stars though. Like I really only know Chaperone, to be honest.
I can't
And
remember.
I really
Isn't
like her.
Ethel
Ethel
Cain?
Kane's from the South, and she's very much of the South.
Is it?
She's
Yeah, no.
Southern
Isn't she from
Baptist.
Nebraska?
Ethel Kane.
No. Are you sure? Google it.
Ethel Kane's like from the South.
I need you to. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know why I remember her being more in the Midwest.
Tallahassee, Florida.
Just kidding.
Right.
Who the fuck is from Nebraska then that I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
I guess no one.
Logan Paul.
No.
They're all from Ohio.
Wait. Do you want to Google Midwest celebrity,
Yeah.
famous Midwest
Prince,
singers?
I guess.
I'm so sweaty. Holy shit!
I'm very hot as well.
It's like a soup out here.
Oh my god, yeah, Kanye's from Chicago. I knew that. Shauna,
Lil
I don't know
Durk.
her. Or Shauna Guy. Okay. A lot of rappers from Chicago.
Well, yeah, that doesn't.
Luke Fiasco, that's who you were talking about
Oh
before.
my god, Slay.
Sorry, I'm skipping past so many people because
Who?
they're cool like rappers from Chicago that were popular in the early 2000s that I'm just not that familiar with. Jennifer Hudson.
Where's she from? Say.
No, let me look.
Anyways, yeah, more Midwest representation. We love to see it.
She's from Chicago. Yeah, no, Chicago's big. That makes sense why there are so many talented people. Okay, wait. Let me do small town, Midwest, famous singers. You never knew these famous singers are from the Midwest. Let's see. Holy shit. Chance the Rapper. Yeah. Sam Cooke, REO Speedwagon,
REO
Plain
Speedwagon.
White Tees.
Oh,
Smashing Pumpkins,
Smashing Pumpkins makes sense.
Fall
When you
Out
listen to
Boy,
like
Cheap Trick.
1979 and you're like, yeah, this feels like I'm in a cornfield and I'm depressed and it's like
They're from
the
Illinois.
90s.
Now,
Yeah.
what about Indiana? Now, this is crazy shit. John Mellencamp
Oh,
checks
fuck
out.
yeah.
Michael Jackson / the Jackson 5.
I forget. They're from the Midwest.
Motley Crue. David Lee Roth, from Van Halen. Babyface, not the WJSN song.
I don't know who that is.
Everyone that was shouting that. It's not the WJSN.
You and Curtis were shouting that.
Iowa, Corn. They're giving a fucking intro on all of these states.
Wait,
like I
corn
don't know
is from
what
Iowa?
it is.
That's crazy.
That's crazy that they can grow corn there.
That's really funny. They
Never
named
heard
it
of
corn.
that.
That actually makes a lot of sense now.
No, bitch, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they're giving an intro
Oh, I
about
think about the
Iowa,
band
and they
Corn.
said that they grow corn in
Oh.
Iowa.
I was like, Freak on a Leash is a great song.
No, Owl City is from Iowa.
Oh.
That makes sense. Slipknot?
I kind of hate Owl City. Can I be real? Sean used to love it in high school. I don't think he listens to it anymore, thank God. But like,
Kansas? I don't consider Kansas to be the Midwest.
it is. The Midwest is a large region, but I think we should have multiple regions.
Okay.
Because I feel like the northern Midwest is its own vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Midwest is not all
Kansas
one vibe.
is
it's
like
annoying.
I don't even know. Like I am not like
that's the South, Mama.
Me and people.
That's
from
the middle. That's the middle of the U.S.
They're
just
the
middle South.
They're their own thing. Kansas and Missouri, their own thing.
Missouri is not the Midwest.
Missouri's not, but people still count it as the Midwest.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be.
It's not the Midwest.
They don't belong here. They're not.
But like, there are some things that are very similar.
Yeah.
To the Midwest, but there's enough like where I'm just like.
Because is it culturally or geographically, like climate, like how did
both, they? I feel it's both. It's defined by that.
Interesting.
Okay, Kendall Schmidt from Big Time Rush is from Kansas. Good for him. And I don't know. Oh, Janelle Monáe. Okay. And Kansas is from Kansas. How? Yep, that makes sense.
Wow.
Michigan. Alice Cooper. Bob Seger. Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah.
Kid Rock. Lizzo.
Wait. Greta Van Fleet's from Michigan?
I know, isn't that crazy?
That's fire.
Ted Nugent. White Stripes. The Supreme. Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Michigan kind of got some bangers. Minnesota. Bob Dylan, knew that.
Oh, that's
Hippocampus. I actually didn't know that.
That makes sense. That feels like a Minneapolis vibe to me.
Judy Garland. Okay.
The Queen.
Prince. I know. Everyone knows. Young Gravy. I actually have a connection to Young Gravy. He was a camp counselor. He's actually fucking from money. Who's surprised?
No one.
Who's surprised that he was a counselor at a sailing camp? Raise your hand if you're surprised.
Before he got into doing a lot of drugs, he probably looked exactly like that too. I can picture.
I mean, he went to school here.
Yeah, he went to school here. One of my friends was like basically not in this frat, but like friends with a bunch of guys from this frat, so he hung out there a lot. And when he was a student, Young Gravy came and did a show here. It was like a couple years after the Young Gravy graduated, and he did a show, and then he went back to the same frat because he used to hang out there too. So my friend, I guess, got really drunk, fell asleep on the futon, and then I guess Young Gravy sat next to him, signed his arm, and then he woke up and he had Young Gravy written on his arm, but he didn't remember meeting him.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that's the closest I've. So I mean, I saw him when he came to Taste of Madison. Terrible live. I'm not kidding. I think he he hit too much weed, and then he got out on stage and he was like, "This is crazy, dude! Like there's so many people here. Like, whoa!"
Like yeah, it's
and like did not all the worst performance ever. Every high schooler in a 30-mile radius drove in to see Young Gravy, and then it was me and Will and like a couple of our friends. And so I'm holding a beer, and I look around. I don't see a single other beer because everyone's 15. Yeah, and it was maybe the worst concert I've ever seen. He was fucking terrible. So no offense to Young Gravy,
but you asked earlier.
That was mid as hell.
You asked earlier about performers from Nebraska, and I think this is who you're thinking of. JoJo Siwa is from Nebraska.
Yeah, I was confusing JoJo Siwa and Ethel Cain, yeah. Yeah, I know, that's understandable.
It's a common misconception. We've all been there.
Where's Wisconsin?
Wait, we haven't even gotten to Wisconsin. Let's see. South Dakota. Huge intro for Wisconsin. Okay, let's see. Ava Max.
Okay.
Bonnie Bear.
Yeah, that one I knew. That's fire. Iconic.
I literally don't know any of these. Steve Miller from the Steve Miller Band.
Sure.
Bitch, you know Steve
Miller. Is Danny
Miller.
Goki on there?
I don't know.
Oh. Not to let my boy slip through the cracks. Anybody else good or no?
No, literally, I don't know any of these other people.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
guys, breaking
That's
news, breaking
crazy.
news, breaking news, breaking
While you
news.
were shitting,
While I was on the pooper, well, before I went on the pooper, River right here says to me, "Watch this video of Joe Biden dapping someone up. I'm surprised someone of
I'm
his
sure
age."
everyone. I don't know. I'll see if I can maybe add it. I don't know how. I could probably add it to the video so you can see it.
Right
But like, I'll
here,
put it right in between us.
Joe Biden successfully dapping someone
No,
up.
but he clears that shit, and
I
and
know.
obviously,
You know what it reminded me of though, just a bit. Uh, that horse show yesterday where they had to turn around successfully in that small box.
yeah. They had to 360.
He was so close to stepping out. He was close on fumbling that fucking dap, but he did it. He successfully cleared it. His hoof was on the outer
Well,
edge,
cause
but he
like,
didn't step
cause
out.
it kind of looked like the guy was just going for a like he came in for a handshake, and then the guy kind of met him, but then at the last second he went up to dap, and there's a hair on here. I'm pruning you. Sorry.
Yeah, literally,
Um, and then at the last second he went up, and Joe got it, and he wow,
literally 30 minutes ago he dropped out.
damn. We were getting to this point. We were going to discuss this our State of the Union address, the
Yeah,
state of
we were
things
going to be
in
like,
the
what do
United
we
States.
think? So now Kamala, I mean, I know she like hates prison reform, but she is kind of funny.
But we have the coconut video, so
But
like
we
at
do
least
have
there's
the.
that.
I think that's what convinced Joe, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Is they're like, look how popular she is with the youngins, and like
Well, also he
half of
just got
NCT's
COVID, and maybe they
discography.
sat him down and they were like, "Buddy, it's fucking time."
He did just get
They
COVID.
just, you know what? Maybe they
That's
just hit him over
true.
the head with a frying pan and knocked him out, and then they just released
No,
his
but
whole
on
thing.
he. It's not just that he's old. Like I don't think it's the age thing. It's like genuinely like he has been just slowing down. Like some people when they're older just slow down quicker than others, and he's like in his 80s, bro.
Yeah,
Like, I don't want my grandma. Like, if my grandma would have fucking run the United States of America, bitch, the
nope.
the craziness
We wouldn't have
that
made
would have
it.
been. She didn't even have dementia.
We wouldn't have made it. Yeah, some old people are just out of touch with reality, and
Most,
that's okay.
and
That's
it makes
fine.
sense. It's like, yeah, you're old. You've
Yeah,
been
you're
living in
old,
your house. You like don't get out, and the only place you go out to is to discuss the same opinions
and you go to the
with the
doctor, and
same
that's it.
guys and the
Yeah,
hairdresser.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
damn. I
I'm honestly
mean,
kind of shocked that he dropped out, though, if I'm gonna be
I kind of thought he
honest.
was gonna like just hang on
I
forever,
thought, well, like
like
in
a
my mind, I was
bitch.
like, I kind of hope he drops out, but also I was like, also, I didn't really think it was gonna happen because I've never really heard of that happening. Like someone so close, like there's been so much money dedicated to like elect Joe Biden campaigns. You know what I mean? I'm like very, I'm gonna be very
I
curious as to
think,
like
I
how
mean,
this
dude,
like
it was probably because of the assassination attempt, because that is low key swinging things toward
no.
in Trump's. Like people are rallying around Trump, which is
It's
disgusting.
no, but it's only his followers that are
I
just like
guess.
have more fervor. Where I'm just like, yeah, like
Yeah, but that's
you guys
bad. I
are,
don't want them to have more fervor.
but
That's
they do
scary.
that with fucking anything. Like he could say fucking anything, and they're gonna be like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, they
we
got him
kind of
to
already
fucking
talked about it,
storm
but like
January
we
6th, like
don't we don't
fucking
think it was
dumbasses.
real, low key.
I don't know. I just feel like it's
My
very convenient,
It
and
was just
like
weird that they didn't rush him off the stage immediately and they let him stand up.
it's also crazy that the
And they also
police
didn't check the like surrounding buildings. Like they did
people
no actual
saw
security.
people saw
And why
the
would you
guy.
do that
People
if that's your
saw the
job?
literal sniper
Yeah.
and they were like, hey police, can you please go apprehend this man? And they're like, well, he actually didn't do anything. I'm like, I think brandishing a weapon is a crime in of itself. Aiming a gun at a former president, actually aiming a gun at anyone,
Well,
is
it's also
illegal.
like they didn't
Like, what are you
secure the
talking
event at
about?
all, which is their job.
No, and
And like I don't know, it's just weird that they did all
it
that.
was very bizarre.
And
And then
also
also
my
when
favorite thing I saw about it was a tweet that said got in my Uber. It was like the day or the day of at night or the day after, and it was like got in my Uber and he said, how did they miss him? He's big and orange. They shot Tupac at night. And I actually about pissed myself because it's true though.
no,
I
literally,
mean, they shot Tupac at night.
and there are multiple shots like, God, this guy sucks. No, like it's such an easy shot.
In a country where you can buy guns, they did more with less in Japan. They killed Shinzo Abe with a contraption,
Yeah,
my
no,
guy,
it's
and you had
crazy.
a full ass rifle, and you like.
No, it's actually crazy because I don't even. Yeah, is it even?
Well, it's
I
also
don't
crazy
know.
because this guy wasn't even like necessarily anti-Trump. I think he was going to shoot whichever presidential candidate was closer to him,
I
and it
yeah,
happened to be Trump.
I think it was just like whatever.
Which I don't know. So yeah,
So
or
it's like
maybe they're just saying that because they don't want people to be like, oh, it was planned, whatever. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, yeah, I mean, we've been saying it shouldn't be Joey B since what before April, like the primaries or whatever. People were voting no confidence. I voted no
I
confidence
also did.
because we were like, we don't want Joe. We can't do this again. We need someone better because we need to beat Trump, but I also don't want it to be shit anyways.
What the fuck is going on with what bug is circling me?
It's just a bug. It's okay.
I know, but it's like it really
Here,
wants to
let me
like
get the
kill
lighter.
me.
I'll light our mosquito candle and they'll go away.
Mosquito
You
candle.
entertain the people.
So, have you guys heard about this coconut tree? It's not funny. But this would be cute.
So yeah, I don't know. The country's crazy. Everything's insane. Yeah, I don't know. I just like
I think Kamala's gonna be fun to watch though. I'm actually kind of excited. I feel like she's
she's
has
gonna.
like
I didn't watch. Did her and JD Vance already debate or no?
no, they
Because people are
denied it.
predicting she's gonna.
They denied the debate because they were like she's not actually submitted as the president
Oh, is the VP
a
candidate on
VP
the ticket?
candidate on the ticket yet. Um,
Wait, that's so
so
bullshit of them to just not allow a debate because of that.
well because now she's gonna be debating Trump. That's the
No,
thing.
because I would have liked to watch her dunk both.
I know.
Oh,
I know. The way that like she's
also,
so unserious, like I don't think that they're gonna be able to get under her skin. Like that's the
yeah.
thing.
Also,
And
you know what we need. You know what we really
and they
need
don't
to
have dirt
rally
on
the
her
youth around
other
her.
than like her being tough on crime, which it's like, okay, on the Republican end, like isn't that something that you guys want? Like on the Democrat end, it's like, okay, I'm critical of it because like
Well,
this
because
is
they,
bullshit.
well, there's like the whole war on drugs thing, but there's also like the rights whole, like the Republicans' whole thing is like less government. They want less
Mm,
regulation.
it
So like
depends.
they don't necessarily
No,
want
they
tough
pick
on
and choose.
crime.
No, they
They
pick and
just
choose. They pick and choose because the whole abortion thing is like they want to regulate women's bodies, and they've been literally saying, "Oh, we want to make sure that there's punishment in place for anyone that gets abortions." Like that is
yeah.
extending the
No, it
law.
used to
Do
yeah.
you know what I
The
mean?
thing the whole thing used to be Republicans want less government,
Right.
small government,
They want small government, not less government,
and
small government.
the left side, the Democrat side wants government like social welfare programs. So
Right.
they don't want necessarily want more government like a police state, but they want more
Well,
government infrastructure.
I would argue that both sides want a police state,
America is
but
a
that's
police
just
state,
me.
but yeah.
Like,
So
take that with
yeah,
a grain of
but you know
salt.
what we really need to get the youth on board is we just need a Fortnite Kamala skin.
No, for real.
Her in the
Kamala,
purple blazer and she's holding a fucking like
she's
rifle.
but
God, that'd be
what's even more iconic is that she has tried to do absolutely nothing on like the social media wise. Like she's just simply just been
she's
herself.
just been there,
And
which I actually
and
kind of
people have
love.
like taken clips of her and just like made it into the craziest shit. And like it's not even like necessarily pro her. It's just like
She just is
she's just
also
getting
there.
so much exposure, which I think is really good for her like reelection chances because a lot of this is like organic and like isn't like being pushed down our throats, if that
Well, and
makes
also
sense.
it's like not serious. So also a lot of young
Right.
people have seen a video of Kamala Harris, and it's not her being like, "Well, I think we need to," like it's never
Right.
like it's not
It's her talking
campaign
about
oriented.
roasting chicken
It's
in the most
it has
unserious
nothing to
way.
do with politics, and I think at least having some context of her outside of politics
Which
is good for young people to be like, "Ah, she is just a lady that makes turkey. That's cool."
yeah, and she says fun things like my aunt would. Like, you think you
Hmm.
just fell out of a coconut tree? We exist
You
in
exist
the
in the context
context of
of all
of
that
what
is and
is and
all
all
that
that
has
is
come
come
before
before you.
you,
It's
or
fucking
something.
ridiculous. I love that shit. I say that shit all the time. Think you just fell out of a coconut tree? No, I don't even say that part. I just say we exist in the context. And It's just so dumb. But I
I've
mean, she's right. She speaks
I've been
there.
getting tweets about like chopping up that sentence into like something something, but I'm just existing in the context. Like they're like trying to re-spin it into other like classic bits,
Oh,
and I think
okay.
that's so beautiful.
It is. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of this is organic, and like people aren't like the Democratic Party is not paying NCT fans to put her
To put
laugh in.
Kamala's laugh
That's what I'm
into like an
saying. And like
album,
it
yeah.
feels real because it is real. And people are genuinely like think that this is funny, this is a trend, this is like their own thing. Whereas like I feel like what Hillary Clinton really like fumbled the bag on in 2016.
In Wisconsin
Wait,
Rapids, you remember that?
2012. Wait,
It doesn't
it was
matter.
2016. It was 2016.
Yeah,
What she fumbled the bag on in 2016 was she was like, yeah, the fucking oh
it's me. I'm chilling in Wisconsin
Pokemon
Rapids.
Pokemon Go. It wasn't that. It was a different Rapids. Pokemon Go to the polls. It was like
More like hot to go to the polls.
right. That would be her this year if she was running.
Yeah.
Right. So I hope Kamala doesn't fumble like that because like I feel like that's a lot of Trump's strategy as well. Like his followers just like riff off of the stupid ass shit that he says,
They
and they're
just
just
regurgitate. I
like,
also think I don't know. I feel like what I see it for the most part on social media, which I try to not get too into the political stuff because I need to
no,
take a break from it sometimes.
no. It like actually makes me
Um,
want to like smash my brain in.
but I get a lot of like I think that young people, since most not to marginalize, but a decent chunk of like our generation is more like socially liberal overall.
None of what do
Um,
you mean marginalized? That was
or I
nothing.
generalize.
Okay,
Sorry, that's the word
it's
I was
like
looking for.
I was like, where are we going with that?
I think that like so seeing I think there our generation's really good about like just laughing and not like we're making these fucking coconut tree edits of Kamala and stuff like that instead of like just trying to like we're able to laugh about how fucked up this all is. You know,
In
we're
some
like
ways,
we're just
yeah.
gonna also do this and
But also, I
like
feel like we have been trying to like hold people accountable, especially when it comes to like the um like Joe Biden fumbled when it came to fucking Israel and Palestine. Like so like fumbled is a
oh yeah,
understatement of the century.
because it
Like
implies that he was trying to do good.
no, yeah, there was none of that.
No, he's just
There
an
was none of
evil
that.
man.
Like literally none.
But
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't
I
see like Republican media like poking doing anything other than spewing like true vitriol and hatred and like trying to prove how stupid the other side is. Where like we're like, yeah, Joe also did this and this and this, and I
oh
don't fuck with that. You know
oh
what I mean?
okay, we are critical.
We are not ride or die for Joe no matter what. In
That
the
is something
same
that
way that Trump's fans
right
are like worshiping the ground that
where
he
they will
walks on.
change their own
They
viewpoints in
have
order to
lost their
say
minds a bit.
whatever bullshit spews out of his mouth the next day. They will alter their minds to accommodate it to
Yeah,
fit into their
which is
worldview. Where it's like, no,
instead
you can
of
be critical of what he's saying. Like that is okay to say, you know what? Maybe I agree on these things, but like I really don't like what his stance is on this, or I
I
don't
just
like you can say that. Like you are allowed to be
yeah,
critical of someone.
they don't take in new information from what I've seen. But I also just like they don't. I haven't seen a lot of people express a love for Trump and his policies because of his actual political views, his
Right.
stances, his past work. There's no
Right. No,
like,
I never
here are
see
the things
that.
I've seen that have made me want to agree because of the way he's handled this and this and this. It's always about the cult of personality and like,
That's
oh, well,
exactly
we
what it
need someone
is.
like
We
him
need
and this
someone
and that. Like, I
strong,
don't,
like blah
it's
blah
never
blah.
actually based in like, well, here's what he's done that was good. Or
Right.
when it is, they go, well, the gas prices were good during his
It's like
presidency. Yeah, so it's
that's
not about him. He doesn't control that.
no,
So it's,
no.
you're just explaining to me that you don't know how the world works and you don't want to learn
Well, I bought a
how
house.
things are affected
I
by
bought a
things
house
that
in
don't have anything to
2019, and it's
do.
like congratulations. My son was cured of cancer in 2020, right when right when at the end of Trump's presidency, and it's like, right. And what does that have to do with his
Like
presidency?
they just
Literally
don't
anything.
understand like how the systems of the world operate. Like the gas prices aren't controlled by Joe Biden alone.
That'd be so fun if it
Like if
was.
it was,
That'd be
things would be
so
different.
slay.
But like, girl, be fucking for real
I
right
mean, there's
now.
definitely like things that you can do as president to
There's things you
like
can do to bolster
influence
and like like try
certain,
to support during different
but
times, but
here's the
like
thing, it's never going to be ultimately affected by
no,
whoever's the sitting president is,
no,
because
it's not how
especially
it
when it comes to
works.
gas prices, like we're going to
It's all
take that,
that's not even
that's
politics. It's
world,
business also.
right, that's
It's
world economics and world politics rolled into one, which you cannot just decide based off of one United States president. This is
yeah,
like, this is
and it's
a
usually on a
myriad.
delay.
It's on a delay as
Yeah,
well. Like,
that's the other
you're
problem.
so
Is always on a
dumb.
delay. So they're like, oh, well, darn. I'm like, yeah, because Obama made it that way. Because Obama literally made it so it would be that way when we got here. You fucking idiots. Oh my god. It's just, and then the hard thing is you can't be like, we'll read about it, because then they're like,
Well,
okay.
I did,
And
and
then
I
they
read
read
Fox
some
News
woman's,
article.
you know, for One Nation newsletter blog post about how Trump's sweat is actually has antibacterial properties, and it's like,
I
what
don't
the
know,
fuck are you guys talking about?
and I don't know. It never like, we are obviously exaggerating to some extent, but like it does,
No.
it does like, it really does sound that fucking crazy. Like when people go to interview, like the fucking music, the music video that I just
That was
showed
so
you on
funny.
TikTok. There's this funny TikTok. We can maybe insert it or send the link of this TikTok of this like interviewer that's like
They're at the RNC.
they're at the RNC. They're like, "What's the song of the summer?" And which is such an easy question. Just like, what song are you listening to right now that like embodies summertime? Right? Like pretty much everyone has their
Pretty much a
own
really straightforward,
answer.
simple, unambiguous, targeted to one kind of answer question.
And the way that no one interviewed could give a single answer.
No, because that guy, one old guy who looked like a sack of old
He just
leather,
started naming
he just started naming every
every
artist he
artist.
listens to. And they're all
Did I
from
already
the 50s
mention
and
Johnny
60s.
Cash? Yeah, you did.
And
Bob
he keeps
Dylan?
going.
Yep. It's so funny. They keep cutting back to him.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
And then that other lady says nothing, doesn't answer the question, and then she starts
And it's
talking
like,
about how they have
this,
a live band at the RNC.
this
And
isn't
it's
a
nice that
political
everyone's
answer. Like,
together.
what are we talking about?
And it's very like a scripted, yeah, it's weird. And then
like, it actually pisses me off.
the only guy that answered it was that one weird young guy that looked like he got inflated like a football a little bit. Like his head looked like it was full of air. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Morgan
About to
Wallen.
burst. And he goes,
like,
anything by Morgan Wallen. Which,
when it's
like, sure,
okay,
go off.
honestly, that's an answer.
And you answer the question,
and
and you're the youngest person in the fucking video.
And guess what? But he's crazy though. I know.
Yeah,
that guy.
well, I know that guy.
Yeah.
His head looked like a beach ball.
There's a reason why he didn't get reelected, which is crazy to even say for Republican. But yeah.
Yeah.
There's weird internal shit going on within those conventions as well. That's I don't quite understand. But yeah,
Well, they had a grinder outage in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I saw that. The Trump
RNC
personality cult is really just so interesting because like even the person that he chose to be his running mate was like such an avid anti-Trumper. Like he wrote an entire book.
Also, here's the thing that I am not predicting, but we kind of think is maybe going to happen. They picked JD Vance, and I'm confused because people are probably going to rally behind it because Trump said, "Oh, this great guy," whatever, whatever. JD Vance is married to, I think, an Indian woman.
She is.
And then he is actually advocating for policies that should make interracial marriage harder legally.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear about
No,
this.
because the Republicans always do this. Like they're above, once you make it in the political system and whatever, well, you're above the rules. And
well, you know what they're trying to do.
If our like cultural law is that we don't fuck with interracial marriage, we don't do this and this and this, you can do it because you're higher up. And so he is literally trying to do policies that are against his own marriage.
Here's the thing. Especially when it comes to Indian people in the United States, it is such an interesting historical like immigration, Indian people to the United States and to Canada, because it is so different than any other group of people that came into the United States at different periods of time. And there's this term, and it's very, the Republicans are like thanking God that this started in the 1800s. It's like this model minority mindset, and it's not a mindset. This model minority concept, whatever. It's a concept of like.
I mean, it exists in other communities too, not just Indian.
Right. It applies to almost always Asian communities where, but it's the reason why it applies so well is because the only people that we allowed in, like the United States allowed in from a lot of Asian countries, specifically India, were those with extremely high education
There's another
already.
word for this, and it's for the STEM side, and I can't remember it. Do you remember it?
No,
It's
but it's like
it was like, I'll try and find it and I'll put it in here somewhere. But it's basically like that we're importing
mhm.
doctors, surgeons, nurses,
I mean,
IT,
yes,
engineers, like all science, technology, engineering, and math
we're like
people,
hand
and
selecting people,
medicine.
and we're
And
like,
it
this is
is,
the only people that we want, and
yeah,
especially when it comes to like India, it's like the people that have the opportunities to do that are already within a high social caste
yeah.
within India as well. So it's like it's so interesting because it's like
It's like a
you
way to
are you
socioeconomically vet
are
people without intention, without saying you're doing it.
you are literally only letting the most Republican of Republicans. They're not Republicans there, but they're conservatives essentially because the conservatives within India support the caste system because it benefits them just as capitalism benefits us in the United States and
Yeah,
benefits those of
those
higher
with wealth,
right.
higher accumulated wealth.
And I mean there's specific terms within India that they use, um, but it's crazy that it's like that's who we chose. It's so intentional to me. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, because do you remember that other guy that people he got like really kind of famous on the when he was like running before Trump. He was an Indian dude
Mm.
that everyone was like,
Vivek
oh,
Ramaswamy?
correct.
Yeah, dude.
And that's
Vivek's whole
that's
thing is
the
crazy too.
definition of what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
No, literally.
Of like, oh, we've faced so much hardship. Uh, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you faced like difficulties with like peers and growing up in like a predominantly white space. But that is very different than like the systemic barriers that you didn't need to face because you came from a high social caste to begin with.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And so like it's like, oh, but it was easy for me, and it's like because your parents were doctors.
Because of the fucking systems in place, bestie. Yeah, no,
And it's like
and the other thing that I'm
it's like
waiting
it should be
for,
easy
I'm
for
waiting
all
for,
other immigrants. It should be easy for all other races because it was easy for me. And it's
yeah,
that mindset that's so
they
toxic.
ignore all the context. But also the thing that I'm waiting for is for the Republicans, because I'm like, they're probably going to rally around him because Trump said he's cool. But I feel like I'm also expecting half of them to go, but wait a minute, he's married to like a not white person and this and this. Like they're gonna dig and go, oh, but he's not doing all the things that we're asking.
I don't think
He's
so.
not doing all the things
I don't think so
we should be doing.
what we just established
But also
is
Trump
whatever
also
he
did that, low-key.
says, whatever Trump says, his personality cult will then make that thing true,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So again, maybe half of his base fucking hate anyone that's not white. I actually know that's probably true. It's not like really a guess.
No, it's just
But
crazy
if
because
Trump
they're so
says,
hypocritical.
"Oh, this is okay,"
You know what I mean?
then it's like, "Oh, you know what? It is okay." You know, because they don't count because of X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, she did so good for herself. She doesn't count as
she worked really hard,
and that's the model. That's the model minority mindset, externalized. It's so perfect, and it's going to get Indian voters. That's exactly why they did this.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't choose Vivek.
I think that's too strong a personality that isn't
Yeah.
willing to just like bend to Trump.
Oh, but he already did though. He already gave him his full support. That's the crazy thing is like we have moved on from 2020 and from 2016 where Republicans were like, "Oh no, he's crazy. No, he's crazy." Like,
well, now
I don't
that you have to either
him.
get on board or they oust you from the group.
From the entire party.
Yeah, that's why they're all being like, "No, he seems cool."
Because
okay.
like more and more donors from large Christian nationalist organizations have now started to support Trump, which means everyone now has to get on board with these crazy fucking ideals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a little bit off topic there, but
yeah.
not really, because that is what I wanted to talk about. Like, guys, think critically. If you're, I mean, this is not the audience. We're talking.
Everyone
to
already
ourselves.
agrees with us. It's fine.
But like, it's just so frustrating to see that. Like, I mean, I know you're frustrated. You saw that IRL. Holy shit.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just like. I think for me, it's good to take time away from thinking about all that. And I think for me, watching the memes that like the generation is making about these like global events happening helps me be like, you know what, we're all just.
It's pretty hard to meme Palestine though.
I go to Twitter. No, not that. I mean, I go to
It's
Twitter
pretty
and like
fucking hard.
Trump getting like almost assassinated and
Yeah,
stuff. Like I go to Twitter and
like
I'm like, you know what?
local American politics
We're
that
uniting,
that aren't like
and that's
world
good.
politics that
If it
like
makes you feel
aren't
better, the
killing
Australians are
millions.
horribly corrupt right now.
I already knew that
England's a
though.
fucking shit show. So like, don't worry. The West is falling, and it's about damn time.
But they,
And at least we have Joyride by Kesha.
yeah, that's true.
Joyride, you know.
It's just like we stop pretending to like be decent human beings. It's like I don't
They gave
know.
up on the facade because we already
Right.
knew.
Because like that's there's a reason why I said pretending because it's like they've never given a shit. I don't know. I think there just needs to be like restructuring and I don't know how to restructure.
Listen, you don't even want my takes are a little too radical, probably for most, but I just don't think the two-party system works.
No one
So
does. No one thinks it fucking
I think we
works.
need complete political overhaul, and I
I
do
mean,
think the only way we're going to get there is probably through violent revolution. So whenever that happens, it happens, I guess.
I don't know. Germany has like I mean they had like kind of a psychological fucking
We need a cultural
shitstorm.
revolution, if not a violent
Okay,
revolution.
Mao.
Well, we do because the current way that there's like two culture groups.
But that's not even really what the Cultural Revolution was, though. It
No,
wasn't actually two
we need
cultural
one.
groups.
We need a cultural revolution where like old people and young people actually just start to like figure some shit out in our country because that is also a
Yeah.
huge divide that is fueling a lot of problems
And
here.
there's a shit ton of old people.
Yeah, and they
Thanks,
should
baby
maybe start
boomers.
dying off. I don't know. It's
They
about time.
will eventually.
I think that will help.
Ugh, who do you think? Who do you think Kamala's gonna pick as her running mate? Better not be Pete.
I don't even fucking know. I'm interested to see where things go. Actually,
I am.
we're kind of on a
The
wild ride
drama
now.
has actually been.
It's kind of like
very
watching Love
interesting.
Island.
Oh my god, which I haven't watched this year, but everyone's like obsessed with.
We should watch together maybe at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
All right, we're
Now that we talked about the West falling,
I think we're gonna wrap it up.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm hot.
I'm
It's
sweating.
sweaty.
I gotta go take a shit. Number
Yes.
2 of the day, fighting my demons out here.
That's pretty good.
I don't poop this much normally, so put that on the wiki
Oh.
and smoke it. All right.
All right.
Well,
Goodbye.
thanks for coming. Bye, guys.